I tried this argument before, but I didn't like the microphone, and I think what I said is not that thought out and minutely dangerous for it. So the argument was what is good and what is evil, and it's all based subjectively on humanity. And then I thought about it after watching it a few times and realized that, okay, so the argument ended on what is evil is unnecessary, is what is essentially unnecessary, and what is good therein has to be what is necessary. But that still remains subjective per the individual's life. And so while I personally believe that, objectivity is a goal, like being perfect is a goal, but it's not attainable because of humanity being a finite, subjective existence. That is absolutely everything I believe in. So the best you can do is aim to be a logical source of information. The best you can do is aim to be as objective as you can possibly manage. But the only way in which you could do that is by accumulating a hell of a lot of subjective info and using discernment, context clues, and deductive reasoning to get as objective as humanly possible. It won't be perfect, but it'll be alright. And with that, one might be able therein to ascertain what is too evil. So I brought up, there is a difference in the Jewish religion between there's two different words for it, and I don't know the words. But there's a difference between killing for pleasure and killing in defense of yourself or others. And that one is seen as perfectly alright, and the other one is seen as absolutely horrible. And, it's obvious which one that is. Don't kill for pleasure. And having said that, I think you'd have to trust the individual, or I know you would have to trust the individual to get to a conclusion in which what they observe is mostly as close to objectivity as one can manage. But the reason I took the initial video down is because I don't think humanity is that capable. A lot of people will still manage to reason out what they do as though it is in any regard logical, and ends up a lot of the time being the opposite. If you are highly defensive and if you live in fear, it'd be really easy for you to walk away from anything you do, understanding that you must be in the right because all you aim to do is to keep yourself safe. So if you have no ability to hold yourself accountable for what you started, and then someone retaliates in defense of their person, you then get to walk away saying, well, I can retaliate now because I'm defending myself. But that's not understanding that what you started is no longer a defense, you're playing offense. And I think humanity does that a lot. So that is neither subjectively true nor objectively true as far as being defensive and therein good. And that can end up going back and forth like volleyball between two people, just constantly feeling the need to defend themselves to get the other person to back down, and then you're stuck. And if that's handed down generationally, of one group feeling like they're defending themselves and another group also simultaneously feeling like they're defending themselves, after generation, I'm not even sure how many it would take, maybe one, depending on the situation, a generation dies out or multiple die out, it could very well lead to a feud that isn't understood but is still fought. And so they may both believe that they are in the right and they're in good. And I brought up in the prior video that I took down so you can't find it, war, and how, murder is a gray area, killing is a gray area, because people seem to be in defense of war. And what fuels war a lot of the time is resources and economy of an individual nation. And so one nation, cough, the US, might believe absolutely that they've been in the right because everything that they do is for the citizens. But other nations around the world will see them as being in the wrong because their resources are being stolen. So I guess good and evil remains subjective per the ones benefiting from the situation.